Alright guys, welcome back. The What If Civilization started over. I have so many ideas for this series. Now, let's hop right into it. Oh, going back to India. We're continuing almost right where we left off. We saw this country get formed to help connect up to what's over here in Asia. Right now, it's kind of right in between Bangladesh, kind of going into India, Myanmar, and where they are in real life. Hold on, my bad. They're still exploring parts of India, going around here. Oh, if you guys know something new, I had capitals. Because, why not? The first country we see starting to expand is the Red Team, continuing their expansion, now heading up the coast. Now, this civilization is still early, in the early stages. So, if countries get too big, they might have people leave their country, which is not a good thing right now. This team is continuing their expansion up here, explorations up here. They're main driving force for up here of all this exploration northward and therefore eastward. The expansion westward is still happening, but at a slower rate. And we may see the Red Team focus on expanding westward, exploring westward. And this is still very good for humanity in its early stages. Right now, I believe the largest country so far has to be the Red Team. Maybe. But if you guys still have ideas for this franchise, please let me know. I really want to know. For any future ideas of how I should proceed this series of What If Civilization started over. And yes, I'm mainly a gaming channel. I'm still trying to learn YouTube and see what works and what doesn't work. So just bear with me, please. And the blue team has and going back to the series now, blue team expanding and exploring. The blue team itself grows little, claiming more land. They claim more of the Bay of Bengal more than anything. And they're doing pretty good right now. I say the strongest has to be, I believe Red Team and Blue Team are fighting for the first spot, number one spot, in terms of strength and technology strength. Right now, I gotta say it's Blue Team because they're just have a lot of control over like majorly populated areas now, because a lot of people from these other countries and from wanderers are coming up here and finding this area, and finding the Blue Team, and are moving there. And Lime Team is starting to expand. Wait, these are two different cars. Hold on, there we go. Now they're all the same car now. The Lime Team is still expanding. And the border up here me fix the border here. The lime team gets all this. And the red team proceeds to continue to expand outwards. They proceed to take all this land in the pursuit of still expanding and retaining major population centers. There's major population centers now. And new country alert, new country alert, new country alert. A dark purple team pops up right here. They're people from both the blue team and the red team. I'm just going to call the blue team up here Bangladesh, because they may roll over Bangladesh. And over here, Western India. Yes, I know, common names. Very creative. And in the lime team, Southern India. And this magenta purplish team, Sri Lanka. And up here, Eastern India. And this country grows quickly. It is mainly coastally dependent on the coast. They come up, meet the border with this North Southern India. These guys all know they exist. And I'm gonna put their capital right here. Oh, that's not the right size. There we go. Close enough. On there. Now you can tell that's the capital. But there's seriously dependent on this coast. And a lot of people are kind of flocking to this. This is kind of becoming kind of heavily concentrated in people, because people coming from the red team going up to the blue team have to kind of pass through this, and they go up here towards more unexplored regions just to get the more trade, to help concentrate the trade, which kind of angers the blue team, which causes them to expand and explore more of this region, just to try to get people to avoid the dark purple team, which causes more of India to be explored, like that. And red team is still sending explorers out west towards Iran, where's modern day Iran. And this causes more people flocking west. And red team expands westward. They still expand eastward, but they're expanding more northwest. And seek of new land and territory. And they can protect their interests in the west. This country is becoming a little too big, so they decided to slow down a bit. And they're expanding and stop expanding, but they still explore though. They still continue to explore, but they just stopped expanding their home territory, and afraid of obvious collapse. And I say the advancement in technology is kind of ramping. And you might be wondering, why isn't there more countries? Like, why isn't there more smart countries? Well, humanity has basically restarted in this timeline. And this dark purple team expands a bit more. And this red team, and like, yes, I know I just said that they would start expanding, but they say that people want them to expand eastward or protect their capital region, which they do. And this lime team let me get the right color first. There we go. tries to go up here. Yes, I know the power is going to look a little wonky, but it will do. The dark purple team comes in and blocks them from expanding more north. This dark purple team has basically instituted trade directly between the blue and the red teams. So this makes the blue team kind of go a bit more westward, just to try to help get around the purple team. And the red team wants Nexus, very Nexus, honestly. But while all this was happening, there's exploration eastward, not westward, eastward continues to go. They explore more of the coast, and our map is starting to look more and more filled in. Really more filled in now. So they may bout on over here and start going down this peninsula. And I think they would have boats by now. So they would kind of go from here all the way to over here and discover the Maldives. And right now I believe that would be the longest voyage ever at this point in our history, in this timeline's history. I don't really know. Like I said, they continue to explore, and they start to explore some of modern-day Cambodia and going into Vietnam. And they are kind of running a bit out of funding to continue this, so they would kind of stop exploring and start taking this land for themselves. Just be able to keep the funding going. And so if explorers and volunteer explorers from these other countries come this way, they can have a place of shelter where they know they will be safe. So they continue to expand down here. I'm just going to fix that though. At this point, the road is still kind of developing. They still don't know all of this exists yet. Keyword, yet. We're still getting there. Civilization is still in its infancy. I just hope this video isn't too long. Blue team expanding still. Exploration. And there's a new country about to form. There's an orange country, which is sponsored by the red and blue teams to connect up here. That way so they can kind of avoid the purple team down here. And this orange team's goal is basically established. And the dark purple team goes down here. And they're not at war, they're just fixing the borders. Now time for the capital. Capital time! They're gonna be about right here. Basically around the trade route. Comment down below if I should do trade routes. And you guys probably won't anyway, because this series isn't getting a lot of attention as it should be, and nobody's commenting on how this should be done. Red team kind of expands a little more up here, and over here along the border of the orange. And they're trying to keep this orange state as a buffer state to prevent like arguments between them and wars, many wars, because they don't need wars in order to keep humanity going. And there's a joint venture from everybody. Everybody starts to expand rapid. It starts exploring up here rapidly. Rapid explorations. I know the Himalayas are around here somewhere, but we're just going to kind of ignore that for the time being. I think they're about like here. Maybe. Maybe. So they go right up to the Himalayas, which in this timeline kind of affects them right now. But there's massive explorations to the west. Massive explorations to the west. And there's a slight exploration of site discovery of the UAE. Of the modern day UAE. I believe that's the longest voyage. No. I still say this is the longest voyage. From this to this. But yeah, our roadmap is looking juicy right now. Juicy. In terms of land availability. And possible countries to come into the cities. Of possible wars, coalitions, rebellions. Right now, it's all monarchies. Right now. There's no real such thing as like democracy, communism, fascism. Right now. And there's still explorations down to the east. In the east. They discover more of this peninsula going down to Malaysia and Singapore. They start to discover the Indonesian islands. And they continue wrapping around Vietnam. There's a lot of people dying over here right now. So they decided to say screw it and start avoiding the jungles for the time being. Because it's proven to be too difficult, even in our own history. So they go over here. This area still remains unexplored, at least for the time being, until they're able to get something going in there. They go over here, going into China now. Going down here, discover this island. Go over to Hong Kong. Now they're getting a little far from home. You might be asking, when are we going to discover Europe? It's coming. Trust me, it's coming. I'm just not sure when. When it's coming. So yeah. And now this might be the longest voyage. Might be getting tested for the longest voyage. But we started to discover not Vietnam, but Taiwan. Or Chinese Taipei, depending on who you're asking. China. I might not be allowed in China. If I go to China, they might be saying, "We've been waiting for you." But speaking of China, they start to discover more and more of China. Blue team starts to expand right here. And up here. And all along right here. I'm going down here. They currently have a slight monopoly of trade for East Asia. For Asia. Now, I believe they might be the largest country in terms of land because the population is booming and extremely booming where they're needing the land in order to house the people. And they send some of the people over into the orange team to keep them expanding. The red team can expand a little here. Even up here, even westwards. In order to get civilization up there. In order to push them east. Not east, but west. Why do I suck at directions? I don't know. But they're saying more and more but they're slowly, over months, and possibly a couple years, and the jungle's here. Mind you, this is happening like over months, in years, and possibly decades even, get to this point in time. But oh, this map is looking more and more complete as we go on. I'm going to start turning this into a series. But that's where I will do it for today's episode, guys. If you want to see more, comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys want to see more. Bye-bye!